The majority of men are not capable of thinking, but only of believing, and are not accessible to reason, but only to authority. Arthur Schopenhauer. These words from Arthur Schopenhauer capture the essence of his lifelong battle against conformity, a battle that continues to echo across centuries. If reason is humanity's most precious gift, why does it so often vanish in the face of the crowd? Today we step into Schopenhauer's piercing insight on the herd mind, the force that destroys true thinking and suffocates individuality. Before we begin, if you find meaning in this exploration of psychology and philosophy, remember to like and subscribe to support more reflections like this. Schopenhauer's suspicion of the crowd was not born from arrogance but from observation. He noticed how easily individuals surrender their own judgment once they join the masses. Alone, a person may reflect and question. Within a crowd, that same person adopts opinions, shouts slogans, and abandons the quiet discipline of thought. To Schopenhauer, this was not mere weakness. It was a profound danger, for once the herd begins to dominate, reason becomes its first sacrifice. The herd mind, as Schopenhauer described, does not care for truth but for belonging. It demands loyalty over logic, repetition over reflection. In this way, society discourages individuals from thinking too deeply, because deep thought disrupts harmony. He believed that true thinking is uncomfortable, even painful, while the herd seeks comfort. The philosopher, then, is always at odds with society because he values truth over belonging. To illustrate this, Schopenhauer pointed to history itself. Nearly every breakthrough in philosophy, science, or art began with one individual resisting the herd. Socrates questioned Athenian norms and was condemned. Galileo saw the heavens differently and was silenced. Every great thinker was, at some point, branded a threat to the herd. Schopenhauer insisted that this was no accident. It is the pattern of history. The herd resists truth because truth disturbs its peace. But why does the herd resist truth so strongly? Schopenhauer offered a psychological answer. Most people, he believed, are not truly guided by reason but by desire, fear, and imitation. They cling to opinions because those opinions are safe, familiar, and shared by others. The herd mind reassures them that they are right simply because they are many. But to Schopenhauer, truth is not a democratic vote. It is discovered through reason, not confirmed by numbers. This explains why he warned against majority opinion as a measure of truth. The crowd, he argued, will almost always be wrong because its goal is not clarity but comfort. It suppresses dissenting voices not because they are false, but because they are different. The herd mind, then, is the enemy of philosophy, which depends on solitude, independence, and courage. To live as a philosopher, or even as a genuine thinker, means standing against this tide. For Schopenhauer, the first step to resisting the herd is recognizing its presence in all areas of life. Mass opinion shapes not only politics but also culture, morality, and even our sense of self. The danger lies in the slow erosion of individuality. The herd does not demand dramatic sacrifices. Instead, it demands small daily compromises, of thought, of honesty, of courage, until one realizes that he no longer thinks for himself. This erosion is subtle but deadly to reason. The herd mind not only silences reason but also lowers culture itself. When the majority dictates taste, art and thought are dragged down to mediocrity. Popular culture becomes shallow because it must appeal to the widest number, not the deepest truth. This is why Schopenhauer dismissed most literature, newspapers, and entertainment of his time as distractions. They existed to feed the herd's appetite for novelty, not to elevate the mind. He insisted that true art and philosophy will rarely be popular because they demand more from the individual. They challenge, disturb, and awaken. In this sense, Schopenhauer was prophetic. Today, viral content often rewards speed, noise, and conformity rather than depth or originality. The herd consumes what is easy while true thought demands effort. From a psychological perspective, the herd mind explains why people adopt beliefs they do not fully understand. Groupthink occurs when individuals suppress doubts to maintain harmony with the majority. This creates the illusion of unity but sacrifices truth. Schopenhauer recognized this centuries before modern psychology. He saw how people prefer comfort over clarity. To disagree with the herd risks ridicule, so individuals conform outwardly even when inwardly uncertain. Over time, they lose the ability to question at all. Modern psychology confirms this. Experiments like Solomon Asch's conformity studies reveal that people will deny what they see with their own eyes if everyone else disagrees. The herd mind overrides reason, creating obedience without truth. If Schopenhauer were alive today, he would see social media as the perfect expression of the herd mind. Likes, retweets, and shares function as modern signals of approval. They reward conformity and punish dissent. The result? The loudest voices dominate, and algorithms amplify what is popular, not what is true. Individuals begin tailoring their thoughts for validation rather than authenticity. The herd now lives in digital form, pressing its weight on every screen. For Schopenhauer, this would prove his suspicion. The majority does not pursue reason, only belonging. And in belonging, truth is often the first casualty. Schopenhauer argued that true thinking is an act of resistance. To think independently is to risk being misunderstood, mocked, or ignored. Yet it is precisely this struggle that protects reason from decay. Independent thinkers rarely find comfort in society because society rewards compliance. But history shows us that progress, from science to philosophy, depends on individuals willing to resist the herd. Independent thinking is not about pride but about honesty. It is the refusal to trade truth for popularity. One of Schopenhauer's most radical claims was that truth is often lonely. The thinker who resists the herd must accept solitude, not as punishment, but as a natural condition of reason. He believed that wisdom is always found by the few, never by the many. This solitude can feel heavy, but Schopenhauer saw it as liberating. Without the noise of conformity, one can hear the quiet voice of reason more clearly. He advised that those who seek wisdom should expect misunderstanding from the herd and learn to bear it with strength. At the heart of Schopenhauer's philosophy is courage. The courage to think differently, to break with opinion, and to walk alone when truth demands it. He knew that the herd mind destroys true thinking precisely because it discourages courage. To live authentically, one must be willing to stand apart, even when surrounded by ridicule. Schopenhauer insisted that this courage is what separates thinkers from followers, creators from imitators, individuals from the herd.